Hi guys. So this video today is about a course on Coursera which I recently completed, and I completed this course within 8 days, and it was regarding the Microsoft Azure Databricks for data engineering, and this is my accomplishment. And as you can see, I got this. I achieved 86.53% in this. It's an intermediate level course, and the main reason I am making this video today is to let you know how you can complete a course on Coursera within a week by paying less, or maybe, by paying not at all. So it's all depends on the pace at which you learn things. And since this course was meant for almost, maybe as I can show you here, just give me a moment. This course was meant for, around 3 months, as far as I can. Just give me a moment. I'll just switch on to the Google Chrome here. As you can see, if I search for this course, oh good. Um, this course, for example, if I just type on Azure Databricks, so yeah, Azure Databricks. Since I was looking for intermediate level course for data science, so this one. So it's one of the most popular courses, and as you can see, it you can enroll it already enrolled because I already completed this course, and as this it is very interesting, to be honest. You will learn a lot of things. As you can see, course 8 of 10, approx 22 hours to complete. It's an intermediate level course, and it's worth doing, to be honest. What I learned in this course was um, why we need Databricks, basic introduction to Azure Databricks, how can we read and write data in Azure Databricks, how can we process data in Azure Databricks, data frames, what is the architecture, security, and data protection Azure Databricks, Delta Lake, analyzing streaming data and create production workloads, and um, the created data architecture. So it basically has, practice quiz, as well as in the final week 9, you have 20 questions in the quiz. For each quiz, you get 3 attempts in every 8 hours. For the practice quiz, you can attempt as many times as possible. It depends on you, the way you learn things. I really enjoyed doing this course, and I highly recommend this course if you want to learn about Azure Databricks. There is one more reason. I was able to do it because I am quite good with Azure. For Azure Databricks, you have to create this Azure Databricks workspace. So, I mean, it's very simple. It's not very difficult, but you learn a lot. And also, I have a previous background with PySpark, so it kind of I understand the code. I didn't do much of coding, but since I understand PySpark and I'm very good with Python and this Azure part, so you can basically create a compute here cluster. For example, you want to create a new personal compute, you can create a compute here runtime. So basically, these are basic questions you have, um, and this is very interesting. And Delta Lab, for example, you can see my workspace, and these are the things which I learned reading and writing data. And these are the notebooks. Notebooks are just simply the, Python files. It's just like you are using the Python notebook in the Jupyter, right? So it's very similar to that. For example, you can see it by yourself. Like you read a file with a schema, without a schema, and it's not very complicated. If you are in a person who's quite aware of Jupyter Notebook and you know a bit of Python, I think you're good to go with this. And data, you can have data set from anywhere, right? Basically, in this Coursera course, for example, here, the instructor is instructor, it hardly matters. It basically depends on how you want to complete the course and how fast you can learn things. So the thing that I was able to learn was why Databricks is important and how it's different from the normal Apache Spark, and also about the data Delta Lake architecture. And also in the last week 8, you have Azure Synapse Analytics, as you can see here, courses. Not this one. Just give me a moment. Already enrolled. Um, and I already got the certification for this, and it really helps you. I kind of enjoy this content, to be honest. When you start learning things, they just start. It's like very interesting, to be honest. How it works. I'm just giving a detailed description of, because I couldn't find it on YouTube, to be honest. When you go on YouTube, you search for Coursera, you don't find the videos which actually tell you how to get a course done by spending less money of yours and putting more of your efforts and spending less money and getting more knowledge in less time. That's my whole idea of making this video. And not this just this course, you can have many other courses as well. For example, just give me a moment. Um, for example, a certificate here, and there is a bit of lag in progress. I also want to complete these two courses, neural networks and deep learning. I started with foundation data, but it's too simple for too easy for me, to be honest. Because when you have done Azure Data Scientist Associate certification, this is kind of, I think it's too easier for me, but it's kind of good for a beginner level. So I want to show you like how it looks like. I think it's not very difficult if a person is consistent enough. Um, for example, these basic skills you have, analyzing the data, real world data magic. It's one of the most basic course. And also, this one, for example, in accomplishment, I got this certification for LinkedIn. Let me show you. I even shared the certification on my LinkedIn. So you basically have this credential URL where you get your certification like this. So it's kind of, because when you get the certification, you feel, obviously you feel more confident in doing the things about which you have done. So as you can find the data lake storage Gen 2 and data stream solution, I might do this in this one as well. So it's basically trying to understand things. And also what else I want to show you, because these few things, small things, when you search for them, you might not find them. So I just basically want to share these things because it might help more people from the IT background, or maybe the people the students who just want to start their career in data science. So yeah, basically, um, yeah, this one, and all good. Yeah, for example, here, data science with Azure Databricks. When you click on this, there are not many intermediate level course. There are only few of them, and whenever you go for advanced, there are more fewer courses. So this one was quite good. I love doing it, and it has a 4.5 rating. So for me, this one, data scientist associate, visual learning for data scientists, I have already done. So it hardly matters to me. The other thing which I want to show you is you have to practice here, because when you practice here, these are just basically the files. You can just, for example, you click on user, you click on this one, and also, like, for example, if you want to import a file, just import it. Put the URL, you get the URL from GitHub. For example, in the Coursera, for each week, You have the URL of the I mean the content that is basically on GitHub. So you just basically import it from there. That's how it works. And you just have the notebook and you open the notebook. For example, I've shown you the notebooks which are here. Just give me, not this one. For example, these are all the notebook files from the Coursera, right? So you basically open reading data in a Park format, JSON format, and you just click on it. Since currently I don't have any cluster, if I click on run all, it won't work because you don't have a cluster, right? So cluster is basically a compute, right? You just create a cluster. You go to here, for example, I want to show you how it works. Compute and create compute and you unrestricted, I mean single user. You can have shared, no isolation, multi-node, single node, and you have questions on this as well, right? Um, this one, and runtime can be Scala is the most preferred one. And what else? You can select the minimum worker nodes to maximum worker nodes. You have standard nodes, 4 cores, 8 cores, 16 cores, and just create a cluster. It's not very difficult. If people say, oh, it's gonna take, no, just get a Azure account, and believe me, you can create a free tier account. Then from there you can move on to a paid account. If you are if you know Azure good enough, you won't be paying much. I've paid. I'll want to show you how much I've paid. Because people generally don't understand this. This is a subscription, right? Um, this is my current cost. I want to show people like it shows the current cost. The- You don't pay anything for Databricks. You can try it for 15 days. You only pay for the compute clusters. I mean the CPUs which you hire, right? Basically, so it's $3, and the last month bill I had was $13. So it's nothing. I mean compared to what you are learning, and it helps you a lot. Good. That's pretty much. I'm creating the cluster. I just want to show you how we run the files, and you get all these files on the Coursera. Under each week, you get these files, right? Since after you complete your course, you just have to uh, cancel your subscription. Otherwise, you'll be paid on month because it's a 3 month course. You'll be paid each month. And also if you complete, there's a reward points. Coursera rewards. If you come, I already got 25% off 1 month of a subscription. So if it's $70, you get 25% off. It's $51. But if you complete before 1 week, you get more things done. I mean, you don't have to pay even a single penny. That's how it is. I mean, I shouldn't be saying this, but if you want to learn things, then it can really work. It takes a bit of while to create a cluster, but it's not kind of very difficult to be honest. And also, I mean, for example, is here. For example, you can just transform data, import data. AutoML is like, I mean, it's this part here, the same part. You have machine learning workspace. For example, I create the dash ML, and I mean, you can link things. If you are good enough, if you have a basic understanding of things, then you don't need to worry too much about all those things. And I love doing Azure, to be honest. If you want to succeed, if you want to have your career in the data science, believe me, you can't ignore Azure. You have to have Azure. I don't know about AWS because I don't do much on AWS, but Azure is exceptional. I would highly recommend people to do Azure. Even they are in their bachelor's, it's amazing, right? And for more, I mean that should be pretty much. Great. I just want to show this one, unless I don't know whether the cluster is created or not yet, because unknown cluster is almost being created. Let's run it. Attach cluster is not available. I have to select the resource, attach and run, and now you run it and you just get it right. Run all. It's basically like a Jupyter notebook you're running. You have this documentation. I mean, you know this markdown cells. These are markdown cells. You have everything here, and I want to show you something which has a viable. Just give me a moment. Where is it? Workspace. Something where you read the file and reading data and table views here. Now you run all, and you see things because the cluster was being used, for that file. Also, you can see the jobs, right? I wanna show you like repos recent, your your Databricks. You have here the jobs. For example, here, what is it? No, not this one. Sorry, my bad. You can have a workflow here, right? Workflows. So you can see the job runs. So the jobs which are being performed, you can see them clearly. I mean, it's more of like no job runs, jobs, because owned by me. I mean, it appears here, right? Whenever you run a file, you can create a job as well. What is this for? That should be pretty much. I mean, I think I was able to explain my point of view that if you want to learn through Coursera and you want to learn about Microsoft Azure, you can learn it without spending too much money. And but if your learning pace is good enough, then only it can happen. So guys, if you really, I mean, get knowledge from this video, I would say, I mean, subscribe my channel and help me, I mean, to make more videos like this. Thanks.